Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. So I've just been bebopping along with my day and I just became overwhelmed with emotion just now, and I was just answering emails and getting some things organized to print off some business items, some gift certificates. I'm participating in a fundraiser for trafficking. Somebody approached me last week and I'm getting something together for that. Pretty passionate about that topic, and I'm just bebopping along, drinking my coffee and having a great old time. And then I just became overwhelmed with emotion. I really felt led to do a guided message right now for anybody that I can't describe the feeling I'm feeling. It's like a release. Like I just want to cry. And honestly, I have nothing to be crying about. It's not for me. I feel like somebody out there is really releasing something today and needs some encouragement. Only thing I can feel is like I felt this way in the past. Anytime I knew I needed to like move forward in a new direction, but I was gonna be letting like something go, like letting my old life behind, whether big or small. I've had some really momentous moments of that, of just like walking away from a former life and into a new thing and not knowing what's coming, and just the and like even though it was like knowing I was headed towards something good for me, it was still just like the release of letting go of what I was used to. I don't know. And that has happened to me, like I said, in big ways. It happened to me recently too, when I had this like gnawing and like deep down a feeling that I needed to walk away from one of my billion jobs. And it was like, like kind of like, you can't keep doing this forever. It's not good for your body. It's going to wear you down. Like it's time. It's too physical. You need to really think about letting this go. And I was like, yeah, I need to do that. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. And then an opportunity happened about a month ago where I was kind of like backed into a corner and needed to drop it because I had no choice in the matter. I had to be here full time. And I wasn't really preparing for that. So it was like, what now? Now I have to make this leap. I mean, this is the kinds of conversations I have with myself. I'm talking to Divine, right? Like, you want me to do this now? Like, I'm not ready for this. Like, I'm not financially gonna be able to do this. And like, I had no other choice though. I was like, left with no options. It was the time. There was no more time to wait. I'm not saying any other time would have been better. I really believe in divine timing. So I had the nudge, and it was like awareness that I needed to move in a new direction, and it was like preparing me for that moment. And then when the moment came, it was like, okay, now was the time. You have to do this. And I had to say goodbye to like everybody that was involved in that job, and I cried about it. I mean, even though I was excited because I wanted to be done with it, I had met, I had a lot of people that I was gonna be walking away from. Some were dead, some were not. I mean, that doesn't mean I'll never see them again. So I don't know what I was crying about, but it was like, and I stayed good relationships with many of them, and some I didn't. I was like, good riddance, thank the Lord I'm going to be away from that. But like, I don't know what it was. It was like, change is hard, I guess. It was like a feeling of letting go of like, I don't know, it was a release from that, of like, I can't describe it. I don't know how to even describe this feeling I'm having, but I really want to cry. And it's a happy cry. Like, I know it'll, like, it's like if somebody out there might be feeling like, this decision you're gonna need to make is right for you and it will bring good change. At least you're trusting that, but it's also like letting go of what was. And I don't know. Let's just get into the cards. So I had planned on doing I have another channeled message that I need to get out, and every day I feel like I get thwarted to doing something different. This one just like overwhelmed me. I just could not really stop. So not oddly enough, nothing's a coincidence. So as I'm looking at all my decks of cards and like, okay, God, like, what do you want to say to us today? I was drawn to 3 decks, and sure enough, all of them relate. The card then of kind of like the overlying theme is today's the day. That's how I feel. Like, today's the day to take action. Like, you may know the moment is now. Like, this is your opportunity. This is your open door. You need to take it. And so I like to do, I always do that. And if somebody called me out on that because it's not really very professional, but I'm real. Okay. So I mean, love me anyways. Okay, so I like to do past, present, future. So in the past, we may be struggling. What am I focused? Am I focused on what I'm losing or gaining? So if you've been contemplating this decision in the past and you knew you had this inner knowing, this gnawing, like you needed to change and go in a different direction, but you were struggling on, oh God, if I walk away, I'm going to lose all these things. And you maybe struggled to like look to see what you're going to gain. This card says, are you going through some change? Are you scared to let go because of what you might lose? What if you shifted your focus from what you might lose to what you might gain? Endings are always new beginnings. So if you struggle with this, I mean, I do a lot of just inner work. I don't need always to make lists, but this does encourage you. If you're kind of a very orderly person and like to think things through, don't overthink, but do make a list of all the things you'll gain from the change you're going through. Feel your heart, take a breath, and deepen into trust. Amazing things are coming. So if you struggled with this in the past, like feeling like what you need to let go was going to be a major loss, it's asking you, angels and guides and universe is asking you to shift your focus on what you're going to gain. And lots of times you don't know for sure what you're going to gain. You just have this inner knowing that it's going to be better. Like the old thing is not serving you anymore. It's not helping you grow. It's not going to be best for you in the next season. Like, and honestly, like the thing I needed to let go of recently was holding me back because I was, I was putting energy and time and effort and physical activity into this other thing. And it was really taking me away from other directions I needed to head. I mean, can you only do so much in one day, right? And you only have so much energy. You really need to be careful where you're spending it. Are you spending it on things that are really not going to help you grow, or are you going to spend it on things that are going to be catapulting you into the next season? And so if you've been feeling that inner yearning of like, oh, you really can't do both things anymore, and you've been hanging on to that loss, feeling like a loss, like shift your perspective and realize you will be gaining what you need to step into the new season. So in the present then, this card here, I'm not kidding. I was, okay, Lord, like, okay, this is, actually, I wasn't sure I had this intense feeling, and I went to the cards and I was like, okay, what is the message that I'm being asked to share right now? And I had the feeling of what I've experienced in the past, and I knew it was like a sense of grieving the loss of what you need to let go of, even though there's excitement behind that. It's like, you need to take this step and put the period at the end of the sentence, close that door in order to walk through a new door. And so then I went through those boxes of the cards, and like this is the one that came out, and I was like, okay, getting clarity on, all right, struggling with letting something go and failing to see it as a gain into new potential. And then went to the angel cards, and the leap of faith card came out. So in the present moment, we're being asked to take a leap of faith. I'm ready to take a leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. Because the truth of the matter is, you don't always know the future. You can only predict the future, right? And based on what you know from the past, but sometimes that sucks because your past might have really sucked. So in a certain category of your life, so you don't really know. You're basically acting on faith and what your inner knowing is and what you're being guided to, and that can be really scary, and that can feel like a loss. And like, I don't know why. I mean, I'm trying to think of what the feeling is of like why I was so upset and cried. It was like an end of an era. I guess it was like the feeling of like, this is an end of an era. No more am I going to exist in that old way. And that's like a shedding or a purging, and it's kind of a grief. And it's okay to feel like a grief when like old parts of you shed away. It's okay. Okay. So that card, a little bit more on that leap of faith card. The angels are encouraging you to make the change you've been pondering for a while. This change is absolutely guided. And even though you're not entirely sure what's going to happen next, if you take the leap of faith and trust in your heart, you'll be guided safely to the next step along your path. Your angels want you to visualize that you have wings on your back so that you can fly high like them. Now is the time. Wow, exactly what I was saying. A leap of faith isn't about hoping something's going to turn out positive. It's knowing that it is. It's about trusting God and your angels to carry you safely to the ground. There are so many changes going on in your life right now, and you have the opportunity to move on to the next phase. This is an exciting time, so bring your angelic friends on the journey with you. They're desperate to be involved. Wow, okay, so, and then for the future then, today is the day. Today is the day to step into your future self, taking that leap of faith, not knowing exactly where it's going to lead, but knowing you're trusting that inner guidance that's been leading you here, that whisper, and know that you're going to be guided and you'll get the support you need when you've taken that leap of faith, and all good things that were from the past will still be there for you to reach out and hang on to in the memories. And people, you don't need to lose. Sometimes you need to lose some things in order to gain. You really need to walk away and turn and shift away your energy. But sometimes there's still some things that can be held on, like not held on to, but like salvaged from the loss. But you got to get really clear on that. But some things you're not going to be taking with you into this next season. And I made that decision to take that leap, and like, holy cow, I got to do it right now. I have to. I'm sometimes a person that waits until it's like I'm backed into a corner and I have to make an action, which is okay. I work good under pressure, apparently. But it's also the knowing when it's the right time. And I feel like we're being guided to trust that it is the right time. For some of you that may need an encouragement from somewhere else, and let this be your encouragement. Today is the day. Today is the day. Have a good day. Hope that helps somebody. But just know that any feelings that come up from that are okay. If you need to cry, I don't know, anything you feel, just be gentle with yourself. Anything you feel when you're shifting into a new direction and even embracing fear and knowing that you're scared. I'm scared. I was scared to take the leap of faith many times, but I still knew I needed to do it. It was like, yeah, but staying there isn't an option anymore either. So when you know that can be really grounding too, when you just know, that option of staying isn't an option anymore. It used to be, it's not anymore. And that can be really grounding to know itself. So I hope that was helpful. And then just to know when you do step into that, you are going to be supported and everything will be taken care of. You may have to make some changes and adjustments, and it may not be perfect, and it may take a little while to get your balance again and get yourself back on your feet and to learn a new way of doing things. Sometimes I'm like discovering all kinds of new things in this new season now of change that I'm in, that I am learning to grow as I go, basically, and that's okay. And knowing I'm being supported and all my basic needs are going to be taken care of, and knowing that, and then now it's like, and then what the crazy thing that happens is like, oh my God, you were so scared to like let go, right? And feeling like that was a loss. Then you do let go, and then that's scary because you're afraid of the future. Then you get far enough into that new future, and then you look back and like, oh my gosh, how would I have ever been able to manage that and this at the same time? How would I have ever? You grow so much that you can no longer even imagine yourself doing that before. It's just crazy. And I've actually had multiple things like that where it's like I look back and I'm like, oh my God, thank God I'm in a new season now, and a new stage now, and I'm a new person now. That was like putting on to think about going back to that. It's like putting on a pair of dirty, wet, soggy overalls, like overalls that you just really used to love. Like, it's just crazy. So just trust the process. And if you have to even think back to your own life and other times where you took a leap and it felt scary, but man, you gained a lot and you couldn't go back. You just can't go back. So I hope that was helpful. Take the leap of faith. You know what it is that you've been pondering. It's absolutely being guided. You may feel like you're backed into a corner right now, or you just really have no other options, or it is just the time. It's just the time to jump. If you need to visualize that you have wings on your back so you can fly high, like the angels, now is the time. Whatever you need to do to propel yourself into that, say your goodbyes, I don't know, close those doors, close those chapters, whatever you need to do to step into that new thing. Today is the day. Have an awesome day. Reach out if you need any support.